Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Gemini and Sagittarius on Wednesdays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Mystical Manga Tarot, or Mystical Manga Tarot, it just depends on how you pronounce it. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, my information is in the description below. Also, just a little bit more on how I shuffle. I only take cards that jump out of the deck, and usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back in. But my main goal is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. You'll just have to permit me a little bit. We have some cards that fell. This one fell upright, and all the other ones fell facing down, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. But I'm just going to try to pull 1 or 2 more cards for you guys, and then we can get started. It looks like this one came out by itself, stayed when all the other ones went back. So I do just want to give you guys a quick reminder that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here, and by the way, I see a lot of major arcana now that I mention it, but your major arcana here for your overall energy is the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is a card all about traditions and all about sort of maintaining the status quo, I want to say, right? A lot of times this talks about institutions, which could be marriage for some of you guys, but that really all just depends on where you are in your relationships and where you are just in life in general. But I'm seeing that for sure for a lot of you guys, you're dealing with a lot of from the past. It feels like blast from the past. I think that for a lot of us, we've been sort of receiving memories and just things that trigger us, maybe not necessarily in the negative sense. I know that I use the word trigger and that has like a negative connotation, but like just kind of have a memory come back to you, especially since I see the 6 of Cups here, right? It's in reverse, so I feel like you guys are trying to sort of break away from some of those older patterns that you may have had with this Hierophant here, but I feel like they're definitely being made aware to you right now. I think that you guys are really becoming a lot more spiritually awakened in that regard. So you're really starting to see everything that you do and how you do it, and more importantly, why you do it, right? I feel like so many of us have a lot of this leftover, how do I say, programming from when we were kids or from when we were developing. And as a result, we sort of go through the world repeating these same patterns. And I feel like you guys are doing a lot in the way of breaking a lot of those patterns, right? You're trying to evolve, you're trying to really mature past those, and that's a really awesome thing. Also, I'm seeing here right underneath the 6 of Cups in reverse, which, by the way, let me just talk a little bit about the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is nostalgia and it's past energy, but because it's in reverse, right, we know that there's going to be a lot of this energy of you guys paving the way towards the future. And also sometimes the 6 of Cups can talk about childness, or like being childish, or sort of dealing with your inner child. And I feel like it's representative right here, right now, of you guys trying to act in a more adult way, right? I feel like you guys are trying to break those patterns that you maybe had in childhood. And with this with this Page of Wands, I'm seeing that you guys are certainly kind of getting the hang of it, right? Because the Page of Wands, to me, feels like a message that is beginning, right? So I'm getting a mental image of that one commercial about recycling, where it's like a bottle, and a plastic bottle that rolls all the way to the beach, and then it becomes a park bench, right? Made out of recycled plastics. I feel like that's kind of the way this message is right now. It's the bottle, and it's on its path to become something far more almost larger than life. I think that you guys are going to go through a lot of maturity when it comes to sort of those fiery aspects of you. And I feel like right now you might be in this page stage, but I feel like after this you're going to have you're going to have an evolution that allows you to go to the Knight of Wands energy. And then after that, you're going to go into your King or Queen energy. And I feel like that evolution is well under its way, because I see this Star card with this Two of Cups in reverse. Now, the Two of Cups in reverse, to me, can sometimes mean like trouble in paradise. It's like you get into a relationship and everything is hunky-dory, especially when you're in the honeymoon phase. And then once you sort of exit that phase, you start to find out, and you start to like really notice, I should say, a lot of those quirks that your partner might have that really start to bother you. And perhaps even, you know, in a more negative sense, like any red flags that this person may have been displaying that you may have not have picked up on. And I feel like with this Star card, you're really wishing for this Two of Cups energy in the upright, but because it's in the reverse, it tells me that this is probably connected to those patterns that you have. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're noticing that, you know, you've been perhaps, like you've entered a relationship and everything is fine, and then you start to notice these things that aren't healthy. And I feel like now that you've been through the ringer once, you know what to look for. And if you enter a relationship and you start to see those things come up, you know how to act accordingly, right? You know that you can have conversations with this person. You know, you can really sit them down and talk to them and say, hey, I need you to not do that. It's not really healthy for me or the connection. And then you know how to sort of sever the ties and not like maintain yourself in unhealthy connections. And I feel like with this Star card, like you're really wishing for that one true love kind of energy. And you're going to get there. This is huge growth and development on your end. And I see this Page of Coins here, which, like I was talking with this Page of Wands here, it feels like you're entering a new stage. You're beginning. Things are in motion. Also, I looked at the clock on the video just now, the timer on the video, and it was at 0707. So I think that for a lot of you guys, and for some of you guys, your life path number might actually be 7. So I would highly recommend taking a look at that as well. But I'm getting for sure that if you're working on your stability, it's going to slowly increase, right? It might be gradually, but I'm going to see, or rather I see that it's going to increase, right? And that stability might be, you know, financial stability. It might be work and career stability. It might actually even be emotional stability, right? I feel like whatever has been ailing you, whatever is making you feel unstable, like you can't catch your footing, and that might have actually even been screwing with your heart chakra, or not your heart chakra. I meant to say your root chakra, which is the one that has to do with stability. But I think that for some of you guys, because the heart chakra left my mouth, I think that for a lot of you guys, you need to maybe work on getting that open. For some of you guys, you might be experiencing blockages there. But definitely with this Wheel of Fortune, I'm getting that everything is working within divine timing, and that for a lot of you guys, you're really trying to work with the energies instead of working against them. I feel like in the past, maybe you've done things like stayed in relationships that weren't for the best for you, sort of tried to work against everything and had this sort of hell or high water attitude. But I feel like now you're entering a new stage in your life, and the reason I know it's a new stage is because we have the World card. But I feel like you guys are entering a new stage where you have this attitude of, I'm going to do whatever the universe throws, you know, like I know that whatever the universe throws at me, it's going to serve me and my higher good, and everything is a lesson. I feel like that's the attitude that you're taking. Instead of saying like, why me, woe is me, my life is terrible, you're saying that was to help me in some way, right? I read a quote the other day that was, when you get something that you want, that's God's direction, and when you get something you don't want, or rather when you don't get something you want, that's God's protection, right? And like, regardless of what you believe, whether you believe in God or the source or the universe or whatever your personal beliefs are, I feel like that is applicable in the sense that everything that happens to you is for your higher good. And with this Magician card, the Magician card is all about manifestation, right? And it's conjuring things out of thin air. It's mastery over all 4 elements. And, you know, I see 2 of the elements right here. I see the Wands and the Pentacles, stability and sort of motivation and drive. So I think that for a lot of you guys, you're working on a lot of those aspects. And I feel like the other 2 aspects, which are this, Swords and the Cups, which are your emotions and your mental realm, I feel like you guys have got those pretty good under lock and key. And with these 2 elements, you're working on the parts that you need in order to have this really stable long-term relationship here with this 2 of Cups energy. Okay, and then last thing I want to talk about is that the Hierophant is, to me, Taurus energy, and then the Magician is a lot of that, how should I say, energy of like disruption and revolution. So that to me feels like Aquarius, and then also, I believe also Gemini, because the Magician is Mercury. So Gemini and Virgo, so I feel like you guys are very much in your energy when you feel like the Magician, and that's kind of where you're working at, because I feel like in the past you felt like you've been a little bit out of your energy, you haven't really been feeling like yourself. But that's all going to change once all this healing and development takes place. So Gemini, that was your reading first time around. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Gemini on Wednesday. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.